Hey YouTube, welcome to another video from Skinny Medic. When you're thinking about your trauma kit and you're building it out or you're purchasing a pre-made one, there's lots of things you need to think about, but one in particular thing you need to think about is which pressure bandage is going to be in your kit. I don't have any real data to support this, but probably the most popular bandage you're going to see in your trauma kit that you either buy or you're building is the Israeli pressure bandage. It's what I've always called it. It's what I've always heard it called. But it's actually the emergency bandage is what I have here. Pretty much since I started making YouTube videos and building trauma kits, Percy Medical was the one who manufactured, distributed the emergency bandage. But recently, last year or two, Safeguard Medical purchased them and took over their distributors. Just as a little side information, Safeguard Medical took over a lot of companies over the last couple of years, like H&H Medical, things like that. So now they distribute for like a SWAT-T, H&H gauze, the emergency bandage, lots of little items like that, they're now a distributor for. So years and years and years ago, I did a video on the emergency bandage, the Israeli pressure bandage, but just want to do an update since you have new packaging here. And if you bought one of these, you may have been expecting something from years ago, and now this gets dropped off in your mailbox. So when you're looking at emergency bandages, you have a few different options here. Like this 4-inch version is called the T3. You have the 6-inch, which is going to be the most popular, all the way up to an 8-inch. Now, I love a good pressure bandage. You can do a lot with a pressure bandage. You can bandage a wound, a neck injury, abdominal, arms, legs, groin, shoulders, armpits. Pretty much anywhere that you can put gauze, you can wrap it and hold it in place with a pressure bandage. The only place that I would be cautious about wrapping with a pressure bandage is, of course, across the chest. You got to pull it super tight across the chest, and then your patient can't breathe and things go bad. They get hypoxic and bad things happen. So I would just avoid wrapping this around the chest, but pretty much anywhere else is fair game. All right, so we'll take a little bit closer look at the bandage here. You have a few different tear points here. This is going to help us open our package really easy. So it already has little slits in here that we can open up, and you can hear that vacuum seal just broke. So we can tear all from these points, whichever one you choose to, and that's going to help you open your bandage a lot easier. Also, there's directions on the back here, just in case someone's using the bandage, doesn't know how to use it, but that's what this video is for. So here, directions, and then we can open it up. When you open this up, you're going to have another package sealed. So now we have to open up this. A lot of people, honestly, including me, is I go ahead and take it out of the packaging. I take it out of this original, and this is how it sits in my IFAC. Because this is vacuum sealed, I don't care about being sterile, I just want it to be clean. But this is how I run my Israeli bandage, emergency bandage in my kits, just like this, because it's one less step in the process of me having to control bleeding. So here it is, and then open this up. And now we have access to our bandage. Open it up, and you're going to have your gauze pad here, which hopefully we've already got bleeding controlled, but this is also going to help us control a little bit of bleeding there as well. And then you can see right here we have a little bit of stitching, and this stops it from unrolling altogether. So you can see here, got a little bit of stitching, and this stops your pressure bandage from just falling to the ground and unrolling completely. So this piece right here is actually a pressure bar, and we're going to put this on top of the wound. So when we wrap the bandage around the wound, this goes directly on top. We'll weave our material in here and then pull back onto itself. And this is going to help us apply more direct pressure to the wound. And then while we're sitting here, have a closer look. This is going to be the end piece of our pressure bandage. Once you finish wrapping it up, this will clip and stop it from unraveling. So I got my dummy right here. Remember on the tabletop, we kind of showed you these kind of pull loose. So now you can see that it doesn't want to just completely fall to the ground. So a neck injury, like I talked about before, these are kind of nice because I can wrap, hold pressure, and then go up under his armpit here is the best way to do this. Don't really want to wrap it straight around his neck, and then just go at an angle. So you can cut here, go up under his shoulder, go up under here, go up under his armpit, get him to raise his arm up, avoid the chest area, and we could wrap it around his stomach if we need to. And you could also wrap it around his arm. To show you what I was talking about with that pressure bandage, so obviously has a stump here, we're not going to worry about that. So I've got the bleeding controlled, I wrap it around here, and then wherever that wound is, feed this through, make it look nice and neat, and then come back on top of itself, wrapping it around. Now, another quick trick that I like doing with the pressure bandage is I've got it here, I've got my wound controlled, is I'm gonna wrap it across the top first to kind of go above the wound, and then I come down below the wound and wrap it. When you wrap it above the wound and below the wound with that first wrap, so first wrap, second wrap, it's gonna lower the blood pressure coming into that wound on both sides to help us keep those clots in place. Then you have your clip here, just clips in. It stops it from unraveling. So if you're interested in purchasing the emergency bandage, either the 4, 6, or 8 inch, go to medicalgearoutfitters.com. I'll put a link down below. I appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you guys for watching. You never know when you'll be the first responder. Remember the right gear and the right training.